Hi everyone, Mason from CORE, Community Outreach Evangelism Ministries. Going to tell you about an exciting new ministry we've got going on. We just got started. We're going to start going regularly once a month up to the University of Oregon in Eugene, Oregon, and we're going to minister on the campus there. What you're going to see at the end of this is a little video clip I have of us actually going up there. It's only 35 seconds long. You're just going to see a guy named Andy talking with a young lady, and you'll get a quick glimpse of what we did up there and where we were. I wanted to get more footage, but literally it went better than we could have hoped because it was so busy with students. We had such interaction that I didn't have time to really break out the camera any later and do any more filming. I was interacting with people the way the Lord would have it. So it was awesome. Anybody that knows anything about Pac-10 schools, Pac-10 conference, big schools, U of O is a pretty big school, tons of students all over up there. A lot of people know U of O now because their football team at least, was just in the national championship game. They lost, but they made it to the national championship. Their big sponsor for their school is Phil Knight of Nike. He's an alumni. He just did a memorial coliseum for U of O named after his son. And so there's this great big memorial, Matthew Knight, I believe it is, memorial stadium there. So it's a big new basketball stadium. Lots of big concerts there. We may go and minister there. A brother named Andy, who I met last year. If you've seen our CORE videos, you saw the little grand floral parade as I was walking by with this camera and we were carrying the banners. You saw a guy open air preaching right in the middle of the street there at the parade. Well, that's Andy, and he and his wife started a ministry a while ago called Fishers of Men Medical Ministries, I believe is what it's called. And when he's not doing that stuff with his wife, doing the medical stuff, he just goes everywhere as an evangelist and preaches the gospel everywhere he can. When I met him last year, we were hoping to get together with him and do this type of stuff, and it took me forever to get a hold of him, just slacking off, but the Lord's timing was perfect, and as much as I wanted to go up to U of O, kept kind of going, well, when'll be a good time, Finally, first of the year, got a hold of him and said, let's go check it out, and he just dropped, on the drop of a dime. He had just gotten back from the Super Bowl. That Super Bowl outreach was coming in Monday, and he got home, had a couple hours with his wife, spent the night, and talked with her, and she said, go, honey, and bless her heart, sent him over here, and he came over Tuesday morning, drove back towards my house, met me up here, he hopped in my car, myself and a brother named Steve and a brother named Max. We all four of us headed up to Eugene and spent a couple hours on the campus ministering, and it was awesome, and we were overwhelmed with the blessing. We did what was called Whiteboard Ministry. Real simply, it's a great way to draw people in. It's very non-confrontational because people are coming to you. It's probably a step in between gospel tract handouts, and it actually ties in with that, and open air preaching. And I would say it's probably the easiest of all of them, simply because, like I said, people generally coming to you. About the most you do is, hey, take a survey. Hey, you want to take a couple seconds, do the survey over here. It's about all you may do. A lot of people just come right up and read the board and go mark it. You don't say anything until they come up, and then you just engage a conversation, because most people that are come to the whiteboard, they see the question, they take the little survey, then you know they want to engage. You know they're the type of person that wants to kind of interact with people because they're willing to go up and do this survey. But amazing, we've ran into some timid people, some boisterous and maybe some overbearing people. We've got people like to stir things up, and know Andy and a friend of his, Tim, who goes up regularly on Thursdays. So it's new for him being there on a Tuesday, but he's been there a lot. A lot of people know him. He knows a lot of people there. But there was a lot of new faces, and we had great conversations. I've probably gotten, between half a dozen, 10 people or so. I mean, I had good long conversations with and sharing with and witnessing to. It was great. The question was simple. You'll see the question on the whiteboard as I zoom in on it, and it was very simple. It says, what happens to you when you die? As I'm paraphrasing, that's about what it was. And there were 4 options. Heaven or hell was A. B was reincarnation. C, you end up in the ground. And D, something else. In other words, we covered pretty much every spectrum there could possibly be. There's either heaven or hell. There's, reincarnation. There's nothing. You basically get buried in the ground, or something else. In other words, anything else you want to explain, and your religious idea, your view, go ahead and throw that out there. I had one guy who was kind of argumentative. You could tell he was just kind of trying to stir things. He comes like, yeah, I believe going to Valhalla. That's where I'm going. The Hall of the Gods, Norse gods, Thor, Odin, all that stuff. A lot of people had some sincere things, but overwhelmingly, if you saw the marks at the end of the day, you would see that the majority, even in a very liberal campus like U of O, overwhelmingly, the majority did believe that there is a heaven and a hell, and that people are going to go there. And it got great conversations going. I never yelled or screamed at anybody. No one yelled or screamed at me. Had good conversations. What I did notice is what's prevalent there is prevalent everywhere on many campuses, especially nowadays, is this postmodernism. It's really amazing how illogical the view is and how it doesn't creep into their academia as much as it creeps into their religious thought. And it's really amazing because when I would talk with folks, they could not make the correlation a lot of times that they definitely were not postmodern. In other words, I'm okay, you're okay, and whatever you think is okay as long as whatever I think is okay, and let's not judge anybody. All truth is valid truth. But they didn't hold that in their college classes. And I'd say, well, when you go to a college class, you have to study and get evidence and get the research done so you get a grade, you get the right answer. Oh yeah, definitely. And we know there's truth. We know that 2 + 2 is 4, and it doesn't matter how much you want it to be 5 or how much I want it to be 3. The answer is 4 regardless. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Well, then, seeing that there's right and wrong, there's good and bad, and knowing these things intrinsically, and even the majority saying there's heaven and a hell, if that's true, it would make sense then that logically, that being the case, that there would be an order to the universe, and a majority of people, so there wasn't a majority of atheists, even on a liberal campus, there's still a majority of people believe in some type of a creator. The real limited number of people that are actually atheists is still a very small percent, even though sadly it's growing. Most would admit, yeah, there's something out there. They didn't want to call it the God of the Bible by any means, but yeah, there was probably something that made everything, some kind of God, some higher energy or something. And most believe in some kind of a heaven and hell, that there is a good place for good people and a bad place for bad people. The thing is relating to them using the Ten Commandments and showing them that just like us, as we're no better, that we're all bad people, that none of us are good, no, not one. And that's a shock to many of them. But even after you get them to admit that, it's so hard for them. As soon as they realize they're in a bad place and their conscience pricks them and they know, yeah, I deserve that hell if that's the standard, they want to bounce all over. And they say, well, all these other ways, and maybe your way isn't right, but you know that the seed is getting in. You know that the conscience is being kind of stirred up, a little pricking there going. It kind of makes them uncomfortable. I know that gospel seeds were planted and got to share with folks. Some we never got past the law because they never wanted to admit that they were bad people. Others did, and we were able to share the gospel with them, give them something really genuine to think about. But it was a great time. That's what I wanted to get out. What we're going to be doing regularly, to not carry this on much longer, is we're going to start going up there as a regular basis. At least my plan is to go up there the first Tuesday of every month. Probably leave the Roseburg area around 10 a.m. So if you're interested, you're in the Roseburg area and you're seeing this and you'd like to go, we will be leaving the Roseburg area about 10 a.m. unless things change. And we'll be taking off on the first Tuesday of every month. So right now it's February 15th, so figure about 2 weeks out is about when it'll be. We'll be going up again for the first Tuesday in March. And hoping that Andy will come. At least now I know where the place is. Hoping to have more people. The more the merrier. The more come, the better. My brother-in-law Max, who knows all about Eugene, he even said there's some other places we can go minister, go downtown, other places he knows that are good hangouts. There's different spots on the campus. The Lord has got tons of people. It's nice to be able to have a big town like Eugene close by where we can go where there's congregations of people, just because there just isn't a big mass group of congregating people down here in the Roseburg area. Up there, U of O just swarms of people around to be able to spread the seed of the gospel out there, and all over Eugene as well. So we're seeing God move core in new and great directions all the time. I'm just so blessed to see him grab hold of it and take it in another direction, take it in another venue, but in the same vein at all times, giving the gospel, planting the seeds of the gospel, spreading the seed, and leading people from the commandments to the cross. It's just been a real blessing. I encourage you, if you're in the local area, you want to join with us, please get on board. Please come up with us. We'd love to do some open air. We'd love to do more whiteboard, tract handouts, all kinds of things. If you have some ideas of ministry, we'd love to maybe do drama ministry up there. It'd be great to do a drama ministry there for the people to gather around and watch. That would be awesome. I don't know. there's opportunity out there, but there are people that you walk by all the time. There are tons of people that are living this day, going on their way to die and go to hell, and they need the gospel. Did you know that 150,000 people die every day? That's like 2 people a second. People dying like that fast, dropping off the face of this earth. And you know, most of them, in fact, probably all of them, even the people on life support, aren't really sure that today's the day they're going to die, unless it's the suicide person. The mass majority of people that die today, they didn't know it was coming. And the sad thing, the really sad thing, the mass majority of them going to hell. Let's go out and preach the gospel, folks. Let's go out and bring them the message of the cross. Let's bring them from the commandments that show them that they're sinners, that they're not good, to the cross that saves any sinner who will repent and put their complete and utter trust in Jesus Christ. So let's do it, folks. God bless you. Have a great day. Core, www.repentanceandbelief.com. There's the sign. There's the question up on the board. Can't even read it from here. Where will you go when you die? Got Andy sharing. He's kind of the pro here. And Max and Steve here. And I'm getting a little video. Go check it out. Brother out here with the...
Oh, I put the movie, huh?
Yeah. God loves you and he's going to trust you and stuff. And so, seeing what the Lord would see fit to draw to himself.